Thomas Paine, Sam Adams, Benjamin Franklin. These men spoke up for what they thought was right. From their courage came such documents as the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. From their willingness to speak what was sometimes unpopular but right, we enjoy such liberties as freedom of speech, the right to keep and bear arms, and freedom of religion. There are those who still wish to oppress our freedoms, and there are still patriots willing to stand up and defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Men like Zeb Bell, who honor our founding fathers and what they stood for. It's now time for Zeb at the ranch, speaking up and defending your freedoms. Brought to you by Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers and all of the other great advertisers on the program. And now, Zeb Bell.
Now, these are really good words to live by. Listen to this. Begin each day with optimism and end each day with forgiveness. Happiness in life begins and ends within your heart. Boy, amen. Good morning, everybody. Here comes Kate Smith and God Bless America, followed by a Patriot to call in with our Pledge of Allegiance on a Thursday lunch bunch day. Good morning. And a good morning, as we're almost out of January. You know that? It's the 25th day of January already. Welcome to Zeb at the Ranch, and, of course, our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you for wintertime driving. And don't forget, too, some of our great advertisers. Hello, Nick Greenwell and the staff over there. Great physical therapists at Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, helping you get back to being you. Right now, let's go to the phone line and have our Pledge of Allegiance with a Patriot. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Well, how are you?
I am fine.
Well, Peachy, go ahead.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And as I always say, Doug, great job. Call back. I'm going to make you mad in a few minutes.
Hey, did you know it's only 11 months till Christmas?
Yeah, what earth-shattering lightning bolt hit you with that? Okay, buddy, thanks. I'll start shopping today. Thank you very much. Okay, I'll leave it to Doug. Right now, it's time for the weather, and the weather brought to you by K&R Rental. Hello. You know, Roger did one heck of a good job here on the program about a week ago when we interviewed him, and they get there early in the morning at 7 a.m. at 256 South, 600 west of Hayburn. Yep, right on the Burley-Paul Highway, and they've got all the tools and equipment to finish construction projects, whatever you need the tools and equipment for. And, oh, by the way, too, don't be shy. If you're not sure what you need to do a job and finish a job, just give them a call or stop in and talk to them. They have the experience and the knowledge, and they can help you. K&R Rental at 256 South, 600 west of Hayburn, 678-3122. And right now, here's Gina with the forecast.
Maybe some snow showers for today, tomorrow, and for Saturday as we head on into the weekend. And for today, we are expecting some rain and snow showers, likely before noon, then a chance of snow showers in the afternoon hours. Mostly cloudy skies, gradually becoming mostly sunny, fingers crossed on that one, with a high of 39. Going to be windy as well out of the southwest, right around 15 miles an hour. Expecting gusts as high as 30 miles an hour. For tonight, 20% chance of snow showers, mostly cloudy skies. Low of 25 tomorrow. 40% chance of snow showers, mostly before noon. After that, mostly cloudy skies with a high of 37. Friday night, mostly cloudy skies with a low of 24. Saturday, 40% chance of snow showers, mostly cloudy skies with a high of 40. And for Sunday, partly sunny skies and a high of 45. That is your weather for Zeb at the Ranch.
Ooh, I tell you what, it sounds like we're going to get a little bit of angel dandruff here in the Magic Valley. And, of course, the weather brought to you by K&R Rental. Right there, easy to find on the Burley-Paul Highway. Number to call, 678-3122, K&R Rental. They can help you, will help you with all your tools and equipment. They can rent them to you, and I'll tell you what, they've got the knowledge to sick you in the right direction. K&R Rental. Good people. Merv May, come on in here. Let's sell some cattle. Are you ready?
All right, hey, good set of steer calves there. Here to get $31, 31, 32.
That's the chant of the world's best auctioneer. I just could listen to his chant all day long. Merv May, along with Cade Rogge and Lance Udy, over at the sale that works for you, Burley Livestock Sale Yard, 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley. Number to call for cattle consignment, sale information, 678-9411. Sale time this morning at 10:30, and they've got some ripping good cattle coming in from Skip Owens up at Glens Ferry. 210 head at Charolais Cross, steers and heifers weighing in at about 675 to 750. Good cattle. Butcher cows coming in from TLK Dairy, Oak Valley Dairy, Acme Dairy, and Antelope Hills Dairy is bringing in 25 head of Holstein heifers. This is going to be another good sale. You better believe it, along with a great trailer line run at 10:30 starting time this morning at the sale that works for you. Burley Livestock Sale Yard, 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley, and the number to call, 678-9411. Woo! Merv, sell those steers.
All right, hey, good set of steer calves there. Here to get $31, 31, 32, 2.5, 3.5, 134, 4.5, 5.5, 135, 50, 135, selling $35. Zeb Bell, get the bottom again.
I'll tell you what, Merv, thank you. That guy Ken, I just love listening to the chat. You can follow everything. He's really understandable. Merv May, great auctioneer. Our friends, and we're going to be talking to Rita Ramsey a little bit later on this morning. And Ramsey Heating and Electric, they have been in business going on close to 60 years. Think about that. In business over 6 years. I mean, man alive, all your heating, cooling, and electrical needs. That's not brag. That's fact. They've got it all. And they've got some of the best people working and serving you. So please don't forget Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley. The number to call, 678-0459. They're open 7:30 to 5 Monday through Friday. Yep, they provide warm winters and cool summers. Now, here's the game plan for today, folks. We are going to be over at Denny's restaurant come heck or high snow. No, we'll be there. And it's Denny's Restaurant, 611 North Overland in Burley for our Zeb's Lunch Bunch. I urge you to be in attendance. First-timers, come on in. You're going to have a ball. We've got a lot of door prizes and gift certificates from Walmart, Smith's Foods, Hanson Mortuary, Stokes Groceries, Doug Martin, Pomerell Place, thank you, and Denny's. And, of course, we're at Denny's Restaurant, America's Diner, at 611 North Overland and Burley. Great people, and what a wonderful menu to pick from at Denny's Restaurant in Burley, the home of Zeb's Lunch Bunch today at 11:30. Be there, okay? Got you covered. I'm really glad, and I really want some phone calls this morning. I'm really glad that after my show yesterday, being that I'm on at 8 o'clock in the morning, Monday through Thursday, a lot of the so-called talk shows, they come on after my program into the evening. And a lot of the talk shows started saying the same thing that I had said yesterday morning, that the DACA dreamers that protested, yelled, screamed obscenities, and literally stop people from entrance into Disneyland. I said yesterday they should not even have an opportunity to be citizens of this country or stay here. They should be thrown out. And I was so glad As I scanned the dial, most all, well, not the MSNBC or the CNN people, naturally not, but most all, everyone else agreed with me that they shot themselves in the foot yesterday. I have no time for people that demand things when they do not have any demands coming. They are not citizens. They are illegal aliens. And I said yesterday, and I stand behind it, deport them right now. Get rid of them. They're nothing but trouble, and they're making demands when they have no rights, they have no leg to stand on, so to speak, out of the country. We don't need, and I don't want them here to stay here under the demands and the threats and the terrible verbiage and the swearing and yelling at people and standing there defying the law. Yeah. They would be great American citizens. Gone out of the country. Your thoughts, give me a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Of course, you've got a bunch of crybabies on the other side, the liberal loons. They're going to stand there and go, oh, well, hey, they're just young people. We've got to help them. No, we don't. We've got plenty right here to do in our country with the furtherance of the people that are having tough times, be it in Mississippi, be it in Wisconsin, be it in New Jersey, or be it in any other state in the United States. Let's take care of our own first. Don't forget Dino's Septic Service. Oh, I know a lot of people are going to be offended by that, but I'm going to stand up and say it like it is on this program. Dino's Septic Service in Rupert. You know, I've told you they recently purchased and bought out Dennis Dockstetter's pumping service. They're bigger and serving all you good people, and they do the job that you and I don't want to do. I don't want to stand outside in the cold and pump a septic tank. Oh, no. And they take care of all the septic tanks and drain fields installed. They've got a great backhoe service, and of course sewer and sink drain lines cleaned, and liquid waste removal. I mean, call them. They're the pros. Dino's Septic Service in Rupert, 436-6526, or in Burley, 678-1638, with a great big truck that says smells cargo. On the way, Dino's Septic Service. Oh, and by the way, to all the seniors, later on today at Lunch Bunch, I think we're going to have Holly from the Palmer L place, and I got some door prizes I'm going to give away from her to you. And I want to urge seniors that are living at home all alone, hey, please pay attention to what I'm saying just for about 30 seconds. The loneliness, the safety hazards of being alone, you know, slipping on a throw rug, trying to get in and out of the shower, poor nutrition, make yourself a Pop-Tart instead of a real good meal, missed medication, that doesn't cut the cake. The Palmer L Place is a place that offers the ability for seniors to maintain their independence both safely and comfortably. Call them, please find out more. Palmer L Place, a place for senior living at 1301 Bennett Street in Burley, 677-8212. Really, really nice people. All right, folks, come on, your turn, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Did you hear what Bill de Blasio, the mayor of New York City, and how he got reelected is one of the eighth wonders of the world. And Rahm Emanuel and other mayors of liberal sanctuary cities, they stood up the president yesterday at a meeting for mayors in the White House. Stood him up. Said, no, we're not going to go. Well, these cities and their mayors are encouraging anarchy. They are absolutely, if you'll pardon the expression, giving the finger to the president, this administration, and our federal laws, our Constitution. They are absolutely trying to be countries within themselves and anarchists. They are. And for them to absolutely say in a very despicable way to the president, I'm not going to go to your meeting. I can't stand the man. I'm not going to honor what they say. I'm going to tell our people in these sanctuary cities, ICE and the rest of them, they can just go you know where. I mean, this is really spreading anarchy and chaos. And They ought to have their knuckles wrapped really hard. I was listening and reading last night. I got some information, and I heard some others, that the federal government has potentially the laws and the wherewithal to really come down hard on these cities, these mayors, and it would not at all make me feel bad if some of them qualified for arrest and possibly jail time. You know, what they're doing is protecting and hiding illegals that very well possibly have been felons or have just recently created or committed a felony. And at the risk to the rest of us as United States taxpayers. And the Dems are trying to keep them here in this country for only one reason. And if you can't see that one reason, a 5-letter word, you've got your eyes closed and you're living in the land of Oz. It's for votes. Votes. And we're looking at an anarchical situation in this country with the tumult and the absolute chaos that's going to happen with Chicago, New York, San Francisco, and other cities that are not going to follow our laws. What are your thoughts? Give me a call. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Come on, give me a jingle on the landline. I want to talk a little bit about Nick Greenwell and all of the great physical therapists at Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation. I have known Nick Greenwell for a long time. And when I got all dinged up a couple of years ago with the knee and the hip and everything else, boy, I really had trepidations as to whether or not I was going to get back anywhere close to what I was and able to do. Well, after everything, I went in there to Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, and they helped design a system of exercises, and they really put me to the test. Hold on, caller. I'll be right there going through miles and miles of walking on that hydrotherapy pool, treadmill. Oh, they saved me. They really helped me. So don't forget, Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley. The number to call, 678-1191. They can help you get back to being you. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Well, good morning, Zeb.
Hello, Tony.
You know, these governors of these states are allowing foreign governments to send all their people in here to set up foreign governments on our own soil. And this has got to stop.
In many cases, you are right. There's a lot of undercurrent. There's a lot of behind the scenes. There is a lot of behind closed doors. And a lot of it is all for the promotion of evil in this country by the very nasty left.
And also, I see where the NAACP is suing the Trump administration over foreign people of color that they figure should be coming into this country. I just heard that on the radio, on the TV.
The NAACP, okay, let's just change this for a second, Tony. You're in your 80s, and you've seen it all, done it all. Right now, today, if you started an organization like the NAACP that was for white Caucasians, I guarantee you we'd see Tony being drilled out of town on a rail across the Prime Bridge. That's not acceptable. But they can be as racist as possible, and it's accepted and practiced today.
Well, one good thing happened. Oprah said she's not going to run for president, so I guess that's something in our favor.
Oh, gee, I'll cancel the order of Pepto-Bismol. I'll take it back today.
Okay, Zeb, I just thought I'd inform you about that.
All right, you go back and have another cup of coffee and kiss that lovely wife of yours good morning.
I certainly will. Okay, thanks, Zeb.
You
Bye.
bet, buddy. Thank you. Oprah's not going to run. Oh, I'm saved. I wasn't too worried about Oprah. Good heavens. Oprah Winfrey. Next thing you know, as despicable as I thought Oprah would be as a possible presidential candidate, somebody the other day on a phone call to me, and we were talking about the left and Democrats as to who they're going to pick out of the woodwork or other places. excuse me, to run for various offices. Somebody said Jane Fonda. And I just about fell off my desk chair. And then, just this morning, I had another jolt to my heart. I don't need another heart problem. I just had another jolt to my heart that they were saying that it might be so that John Kerry, you know, our old Vietnam man, damning and condemning the United States, John Kerry might throw his hat in the ring again for 2020. You know, John Kerry, he's made my list, and I feel like sending it to him in case he really cares. He's made my list of, honestly, the top 10 of the most despicable characters in the Democratic Party. And, John, you're just solidifying your position. He's ranked number 8 right now, and he might be moving up the ladder. He just recently was talking to the Palestinian leadership, not Israeli. Oh, no. He's taking the other side. He's going over to the bad guys, you know, with Hamas and the terrorists and everything, and condemning and criticizing and belittling our President Trump. Yep, I tell you what, John Kerry, you just go ahead and run. I am going to have a field day, being that this program is heard all over the world in condemning you and chastising you. Go ahead, John. Have at it. Calls welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Let me see what I got here. Oh, the urgent cares. Come on, give me a call. I get lonesome sitting here in this little studio that is so cramped and has about a gazillion things in here that need not to be. I got to clean this thing one of these days. Bring the dumpster on, Western Waste. Don't forget urgent cares. 3 locations. Yes, Riverview Urgent Care at 382 North Overland and Burley. The Urgent Care of Jerome, 133 West Avenue Way in Jerome. Urgent Care of Twin Falls at 2392 Addison Avenue East in Twin. And you know, there's so much they do to help you and help keep the care, the healthcare costs down. Got some typical injuries and illnesses? Well, I'll tell you what, they're there to serve you, like lacerations, sprains, strains, fractures, chemical burns, care for the whole family, DOT physicals, drug screening, all of this and more where you get treated, not seated. No appointment necessary, and they're open 7 days a week. I urge you to remember and stop in to the urgent cares. Riverview Urgent Care in Burley, Urgent Care of Jerome, and Urgent Care of Twin Falls. All right, come on, folks, your turn, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Give me a call. Let's see, what else have we got in the news this morning? Talked about the mayors, and all in all, that meeting yesterday before Trump left for Davos, Switzerland, was a good meeting. And a lot of the mayors that were there, they said it was very productive. They learned a lot about the possible increase of financing and money for infrastructure and other things that are well needed. And the mayors, most of the mayors that were interviewed, and I heard one that was from Texas, and I can't remember the name of the town. I'm sorry about that. But he said he absolutely felt bad that the liberal mayors like de Blasio and the others didn't have the professionalism to go to that meeting where they could have learned something and even maybe contributed something. But they didn't. They're just all for themselves in their little sanctuary town. All right, give me a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. You know, I heard something last night on television, and it amazed me. It just absolutely amazes me, and we've talked about this in the past. The low or even poor quality of commercials that are on television. Oh, yeah, there's some good ones. Oh, yeah, there's some that are well written. Oh, yeah, there are some that are well produced. But, boy, I'm telling you, some of them, and I will even go out on a limb and say most of them, have the IQ of a 7-year-old. They're terrible. And I was listening to and by the way, if anybody says, well, what do you know about it? Well, I'm very proud that I've won some awards for some of my commercials that I've produced and made. There, that answers that. So I can be critical. But there was one commercial last night that absolutely drew my attention to it, and today, I'm not going to name the company today until I have words with them in their advertising department and also have them respond, but they said the word stamina wrong. Honestly, in the tape, on the commercial, they said stamina twice. And you would have thought on a national commercial, that somebody in the company or somebody would have called in and said, hey, wait a minute, stamina? You meant stamina. Twice in the same commercial. And that's been running now, I found out, for over a month. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, sir. Yeah, one of my favorite commercials is O'Mayhem and his New Year's resolution.
Mm-hmm.
You only lasted 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, now that's clever.
But you know what, though? Those commercials are well produced, well acted, and the verbiage is limited, but it leaves you with the message of who you were watching.
Exactly.
And you know...
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say there's one commercial that's on almost every evening, and I can't remember the soap company or whatever that's supposed to be the main mental thrust for you to remember, but there's a girl and a guy out on a first date. And the girl starts off the commercial by saying something like, oh, you look awfully comfortable tonight, and the guy's got a T-shirt that looks like the dog ate it. And, I mean, it's so idiotic that a guy would go dressed on a first date trying to impress a girl with a T-shirt that honestly looks like a St. Bernard drug it around the yard 30 times, and he acts like, oh, he just noticed that he had it on for the first time. How dumb is that?
Well, it's dumbing down of the men.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it's doing.
I cannot argue with that. Absolutely. And look at the progressive commercials with, what's her name, that plays the lead? Oh, my goodness. Flo. Every time in that commercial, the rest of the people in the commercial that are males are really dumb. Really dumb.
Yep, there you go.
Yep.
That's a progressive deal.
Yep.
The mayors that refuse to take part, like throwing a temper tantrum because they're not getting their way.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. There are laws, and if you don't follow the laws, what should happen?
Well, gee, Doug, that seems like such a hard question to answer. Gee, let me scratch my head. Oh, I've got an answer for you. Then there should be something as far as a trial and retribution period.
Exactly. If you or I or 99% of the American citizens do not follow a law, we get in trouble, we get hauled in front of a judge, and either sentenced, fined, or reprimanded.
Well, let me tell you something. If you try to haul through Hayburn, where your office and building is, and you're going 60 down that road, and you just feel more comfortable going 60 than the speed limit of 35, and the officer over in Hayburn pulls you over and says, I'm going to give you a ticket for 35 miles over, and you say, nah, I don't think so today. I just don't feel like I want your ticket. Keep the paper.
Yeah, that won't go over real good.
No.
And these, this Yukon, where they had Ben Shapiro speak.
I'm chuckling, yes.
I know it. I mean, and I applaud Yukon for providing the security and making sure it was a safe deal. I really do. But did you see the video of the counter speech?
I did. I watched.
Was?
I watched it, and I couldn't help but almost break out in a very loud belly laugh.
I know it. And I seen something the other day on social media, and it says, if your child needs a safe space to avoid offensive words, you have failed as a parent.
Oh, my. You know, some of those kids that were interviewed, and some of them that leading up to the event were standing there being interviewed by television, different television stations. Oh, we can't can't have this on our campus. Why, we can't have this dissension. We can't have these conservatives coming in here. We've got to stop. I mean, it is nuts.
Yeah, it's hateful speech. It's hateful speech. Well, little girl, wait till you get a boss that crawls down your throat because you didn't show up on time or didn't get a project done on time.
Well, you see, the whole thing is they're allowed not to grow up. And that's the problem. Mommy and Daddy are probably footing the bill. Mommy and Daddy probably send a check every month. Here, Johnny, have a great time. Here's 10 grand. Go spend it whatever you want to do. And they've never learned to be responsible. They really don't know what it's like to be out in the real world. And I really feel sorry for these kids. If they do graduate, whether it's UConn or USC, I don't care where it is, and the real world slaps them in the face 24 hours later, holy smokes, it's going to be a disaster.
It is. It's better for them to learn these hard lessons when they're young, and there's very little repercussion, but yet still they learn a lesson rather than when they get old, and it can be devastating.
But to say that they're going to provide puppies and kitty cats and in some cases llamas so that you can sit there and pet the animals and cry and tell the psychologist about how bad your life is because a conservative came to your campus and was going to give a speech. I'm telling you, the younger generation, not all of them, but many of them are completely cuckoo.
Exactly. And I can't remember who said it, but somebody stated on an interview that if they need psychiatric help because a conservative's coming on campus to speak, they need psychiatric help before.
Oh, I'm telling you, I'm surprised they can get out of the morning and put the right shoes on the proper feet.
Yeah. And did you watch Tucker with that was it Massachusetts mayor?
I just absolutely couldn't hardly watch it.
I mean, where their school, this is their Massachusetts statistics, that the 8th grade has a 0% math efficiency.
Yeah, and she tried to cover it up. And she had a big shovel, and she already had dug a pretty good hole, and she just kept digging deeper, baby.
She did, didn't she?
Oh, my.
What was it she said? They speak over 40 languages in that city?
Yeah, and that should be an attributing factor as to why they can't pass the math test.
And he asked her a question. How many immigrants will it take to make your city prosperous?
Yeah. And she wouldn't answer it.
She wouldn't even come close to it.
No, she avoided that. I mean, she had the skull and crossbones out, and she was running from the flu. Let me tell you. I got to go, Doug. Thanks so much, buddy. Appreciate it.
Hey, we'll see you at lunch bunch today, bud.
I'll look forward to it. Thank you much.
God bless.
All right, sir. He's gone.
Take care of our senior centers.
No, he's back. He's gone. He's back. He's gone. He's back. There he is. He peeked around the corner. He got us again. Take care of the seniors. Thanks, Doug. Appreciate it.
All right. God bless.
Oh, my goodness sakes. I want to tell you about something that's coming up in the next couple of weeks, and I don't want you to miss this because it's very important, and I really know and trust these folks. Brian Scott, Dan King, and Todd Lovelace, financial advisors with Waddell & Reed, will have a booth this year at Agra Action, and that's going to be at the Expo Center in Twin Falls, February 1, 2, and 3. Don't miss this. They specialize in comprehensive financial planning, retirement planning, investment planning, and insurance planning, and then after the expo's over, they're going to have on Tuesday, listen to me very carefully, Tuesday, February 6th, at their office at 6:30 p.m., a great big free educational seminar on farm and ranch succession planning. I'm going to be there. You'd better be there. This is going to be a great meeting, and their office, Waddell & Reed, is located at 1146 Eastland Drive North in Twin Falls. For more information, call them at 732-7695. That number again, 732-7695, and they'd sure like you to RSVP to be there at that meeting. Going to be a really good meeting. Don't miss it. Okie dokum. Calls are welcome. 436-2244. 1-866-927-4587. Let's see, what else have we got? Remember Lois Lerner, the woman that sat there at that Senate hearing and so smug. so full of disdain, so full of arrogancy. Remember Lois Lerner with the IRS? Yeah. And you also remember that very important information items turned up missing about Lois Lerner? Remember all the info and the emails and everything else about Hillary and Huma Abedin? A lot of that stuff turned up missing. And now 50,000. 50,000. I mean, come on. 50,000 texts from two very crooked FBI lovers. Turns up missing. Do you see a pattern here in America? The cover-ups, the lies of evil being hidden. And you and me, Mr. and Mrs. Gullible USA, we just get up in the morning, go to work, try to make a living, pay our taxes, buy the kids' shoes, buy groceries, try to make a living. Well, these people skate illegally on thin ice, but get away with it. And the other day, a good friend of mine said, well, why are we wasting so much time on the past? Let's just move forward. Wait a minute. I would like to see, and I mean this, if this offends you, turn the dial. I would like to see the likes of Lois Lerner and others in the IRS that absolutely were doing illicit and illegal things. I would like to see Huma Abedin and the other staff members and Hillary herself. And I would like to see these two FBI agents, Page and Strzok, pay the piper. I absolutely would like to be the judge bringing the gavel down. And with all the proof presented, and nothing missing, hidden, stolen, lost, whatever, and see each and every one of them wearing orange jumpsuits so that they adhere to the law that is also our law. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Well, thank you.
I was listening to the Dan Bongino. He has a podcast.
Yep.
And he over the rock, and some stuff come out of it that I thought was rather interesting. One of the reasons Hillary got to skate on her private server and email is because President Obama was emailing her on that apparatus with classified information.
Yes.
Which would have included him in this, and they were not going to go there. If it was just Hillary, they would have thrown her under the bus, but where it brought in President Obama, this is why she got to skate.
Hey, let me ask you something, and this is going out to all the listeners on my program right now, which is, by the way, the number one program in this time slot. I'm bragging, I know, but I love those ratings. Anyhow, back to business. Let me ask you this. What are your thoughts about all the illegalities that are going on, not only in politics, but in whether it's Hollywood or everywhere else? And how in the world can you bring kids up today without sitting down basically every night at the dinner table or at the bedside when they say their prayers and not try to explain to them how evil has to be stopped and it has to be arrested?
You just got to read out of the Bible and raise them up to be a Christian and believe in God and do as God demands that we follow the 10 Commandments, and you follow those.
Yeah.
Then this world would be a good place. But when you turn your back on God, God will turn his back on you.
And I think, Doug, it's safe to say that we have really started to give God the cold shoulder.
Exactly. Until I think President Trump is a message from God to try to help save this country, but he can't do it himself. We all need to get behind him and push, and we need to demand of our representatives to represent us, not what they want and not the lobbyists, us.
Boy, I've said that for a long time, and I'm not going to bring names into it this morning, but there are certain individuals in politics, some of which represent our state of Idaho, that I would love to see a tight race and a loss the next time they're up for election.
I agree with you there, buddy.
Okay, my friend. Thank you for calling back.
You bet. God bless.
Before I get the weather on here, I want to remind everybody about Barry Equipment and Rental, sales, service, and parts at 159 West Highway 30 in Burley. Hello, Juan. Good guy over there, man. And also at 465 Addison Avenue West in Twin Falls with Eli and the crew, and another location up in Nampa. Oh, they've got all the new skid steers, compact track loaders, mini excavators, all the bobcats, all the shapes and sizes. New and used for rent and or your purchase. I'm telling you, you need to get a job done. They've got it for you at Barry Equipment and Rental. Sales, service, and parts. I mean, these are good people. You stop in and see them today. Equipment rentals, retail equipment sales, Barry Equipment and Rental. Burley, Twin Falls, and Nampa. Let's go to the weather. Let's see if it's going to snow. I hope not. And the weather brought to you by Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. Christine Pickup, the doctor of audiology, right across from the emergency room behind the Minidoka Hospital. And the number to call, 312-0957. And they are really thrilled to be able to bring advanced diagnostic capabilities to the Mini-Cassia region. With their new testing ability, they can help diagnose one of the common causes of vertigo and provide follow-up testing to infants who fail the newborn hearing and screening after their birth. Oh, innovative, very progressive, and helping you. Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. Right now, here's Gina with the weather.
Maybe some snow showers for today, tomorrow, and for Saturday as we head on into the weekend. And for today, we are expecting some rain and snow showers likely before noon, then a chance of snow showers in the afternoon hours. Mostly cloudy skies, gradually becoming mostly sunny, fingers crossed on that one, with a high of 39. Going to be windy as well out of the southwest, right around 15 miles an hour. Expecting gusts as high as 30 miles an hour. For tonight, 20% chance of snow showers, mostly cloudy skies. Low of 25 tomorrow. 40% chance of snow showers, mostly before noon. After that, mostly cloudy skies with a high of 37. Friday night, mostly cloudy skies with a low of 24. Saturday, 40% chance of snow showers, mostly cloudy skies with a high of 40. And for Sunday, partly sunny skies and a high of 45. That is your weather for Zevit the
And there you go. Thank you, Gina. Christine Pickup, Doctor of Audiology, and, of course, Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids, helping you. Call them today for a hearing screening, 312-0957. You know, folks, you are the most important person in your life. You are. And I really have had some interesting conversations with some folks over the last couple of weeks, you know, and they've got some health problems. And one lady I was talking to, she made the comment to me, she said, well, you know, I want to ask this, that, and the other, but I'm afraid to. Afraid to. And that really piqued my interest, because you, regardless of who you are, you need to take control of your life, your health. I know it sounds easy, but think about it. As far as your health is concerned, when you go to the doctor's office, don't be shuttled in and shuttled out. If you have questions, you need to demand answers. I will not take from any doctor, and I've made this point poignantly clear, and my wife's sitting in the other room and she knows it's true. I will not take a doctor coming in and giving a hurried examination and then just getting up and walking out of the door. No. I'm paying him. And they need to remember to say, do you have any questions? Is there anything else I can help you with? You, though, as the patient, need to take charge of that meeting at the doctor's office and make sure all your questions are answered, including the possibility of, if it's something very major, you need to sit there and say, okay, now that's your diagnosis, but I'm going to go get a second opinion. Or if it's in regard to medicine, make sure that you ask all the questions about the medication. Make sure you find out about any potential side effects. Make sure that that is going to be A-OK for you. Get the answers. And I'm not just picking on medical business at all. But people out there sometimes, and I hear this all the time from a lot of folks, is, well, I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to make waves. Well, he was only in there for about 30 seconds, and then he got up and walked away. No! When he walks in the door to see you, that's your time. You're paying for it. And another thing that really has bugged me lately, as some of the conversations I've had off the air, people have said, well, you know, I feel like I'm a prisoner in my own home. Why? You folks out there in Radio Land, you've heard me say this many times. A lot of you don't agree with it. But you need to protect you and your family. You need to be the first line of defense, not the police. And I'm certainly not ever going to condemn or criticize the police or sheriff's offices. When a call is made to 911, for an emergency on your property, perhaps against you and your family, you are the first line of defense. So you need to know what to do. And this mamby-pamby of the left attitude about, oh, go run and hide, lock yourself in the closet, maybe they'll go away. No. You are the first line of defense for the safety of you and your property. And the main thing is always ask questions and demand answers of any situation that you are involved in. This is you. This is your life. Take charge of it. And never be shy about asking questions of anybody that you feel is knowledgeable enough to ask the questions to in the first place. There you go. Give me a call. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Medicine and medical appointments and everything, I hear so many people say, well, I wanted to ask, but he was in a hurry and I didn't want to slow him down. Baloney! When they close the door and they come in the room, you own them. Don't forget our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Center, is ready for wintertime driving. Absolutely, and that your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Center is doing the right thing matters all the time. They've got all the traction tires. They've got the tire chains. They got the front end alignment shocks and struts, the batteries. I can't urge you enough to make sure that you have a good battery that's going to turn that engine over on the cold mornings and get you to where you're going. And don't forget the best, and I'm not bragging, I'm telling you the truth, the best in brake service. So be sure and stop in and see Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family and Paul, Daniel on Pole Line in Twin Falls, and Randy on Overland in Burley. Yep, the best. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. You stop in and see them today. I got time for another call. Come on, give me a jingle quick on the landline. I know some of the people out there are going, oh, well, I don't know. I don't know if I want to ask questions about this, that, and the other. Well, you've got to be careful. You've got to protect yourself. I urge you to do it. Okay? Let's see what I have elsewise. I told you about John Kerry. He might run again. That would be a phenomenal disaster. John Kerry, Mr. Ketchup. Okay, we'd love to have him run again. Anything else on the list this morning? Let's see. I had a little story here. This man in Maine, the town manager of Maine, he was fired the other day because Tom Kozniewski made comments that were negative to Islam, and he called for the preservation of white European heritage in New England. Now, just stop and think about this. He made negative comments about Islam. I do that on the radio every day when I talk about ISIS and the absolute evil that they represent. And then he made a comment about the preservation of white European heritage. What's wrong with that? What is wrong with saying preserving white European heritage? He didn't say anything about being in power and control. He just said the preservation. But he got fired. Caller, good morning. I got 1 minute left. Go ahead.
Okay. Good morning, and it's glad to hear you again. Yeah, I got a solution for California.
Okay.
I'll say it once again. Chop the water off.
Okay. You want to shut the water off in California?
Down there is just totally ridiculous.
Well, the state of California is now on the verge of complete anarchy. When they start talking about leaving the United States and forming their own country, in a way, I'm all for it. I feel sorry for my friends in the rural areas, but I'm all for it because these idiots have no clue how to make money, save money, and retain money, and they'll go broke in 6 months.
That's right. That's right. That's why I said chop the water off. See what they're going to do about that.
There you go. Hey, listen, I got to run to the news, but I do appreciate your call. Call earlier next time so I can get you in and have a good conversation. Thank you.
All righty, buddy.
All right, take care. Got to run to the news. That's an oxymoron. I'm going to walk to the news. We'll be back in 6. And good morning on a Thursday, lunch bunch day. As I look over to the west, I'm going, uh-oh. It looks a little bit tacky over there on the hill over here behind my shoulder. Anyhow, good morning. Zeb at the Ranch brought to you by our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations, serving you with all your traction tires. And, of course, some of our great advertisers like Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation. Hello, Nick and the crew over at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, helping you get back to being you. We're going to have our chamber report in just a moment, but stand by. First and foremost, I want to say good morning to Joel Heward, his family, and his staff over at Hanson Mortuary, 710 6th Street in Rupert. You know, they have all the information for you and your family on the pre-planning of funerals. All of us need to take advantage of that. And every time they visit with you, they always treat you with the highest ethical standards, with unquestioned integrity. Please remember to call Joel Heward, like I said, the manager at Hanson Mortuary, and it's located at 710 6th Street in Rupert. Number to call, 436-5636. And Joel is also at Morrison Payne on East Main in Burley. Right now, we're going to skedaddle over the desert and through the Snake River and over to the Mini-Cash Chamber of Commerce we go. And I'm not even sure who's there this morning, so I'm going to say, good morning. Who's there?
Good morning, Zev. It's Kyla. How are you this morning?
Well, peachy, fine, wonderful. What's going on?
Oh, my goodness. We have a lot to talk about, so I'm going to get right to it. But there are many things that are coming up on the calendar that I want folks to be aware of because we've been getting calls from folks. And so today, yes, begins the beginner snowshoe class out at Castle Rock State Park. That's taking place from 10 to noon. They have a whole host of winter activities out at City of Rocks and Castle Rock State Park that really you just need to jump on their website or jump on the chamber website or just give them a call out there because you do need to reserve spots for some of these activities that they're going to be having. But you know, we're having, knock on wood, I'm finding some wood to knock on, a mild winter for us so far. So if you want to get out and get into the snow, that might be the best place to go. Also this weekend, it is the Red Halverson Wrestling Tournament at Minico High School that gets underway Friday evening and then continues all day on Saturday. Phenomenal wrestling tournament, great tribute to a man who did a lot for wrestling there at Minico, and we just encourage the public to go out. There is a fee to enter the wrestling tournament, I believe, but it's pretty minimal, and you're going to see great wrestling from all over the state, and also a few of our adjoining states that come to this tournament, so a huge one for Minico High School. Also coming up, yes, it is the annual Chamber Installation Banquet happening a week from today, February 1st, but the cutoff deadline to reserve your tickets is Monday. So please give us a call at 208-679-4793 if you are planning to come to that, because we want to make sure we have enough food. And Jackie is doing a phenomenal job, Shaylee in our office, both out there. We have got tons of great table sponsors. It's just going to be a really, really fun time. And we encourage you to come out for that. But again, give us a call, 208-679-4793, to reserve your tickets. We're not going to be selling any tickets at the door because we do need to get that food count in ahead of time. Also coming up on Monday, mark your calendars, but Declo Elementary School is having a very, very fun, big open house to celebrate the new elementary school, and it is beautiful. And that's happening Monday, 5 to 7:30 p.m. We will be cutting the ribbon to celebrate the new elementary school at precisely 5 p.m., and they're offering a free dinner to everyone in the community who comes, so you can't beat that. So please come to that. That will be, again, Monday, January 29th, 5 to 7:30 p.m. at Declo Elementary School. And lastly, I want to throw this in real quick, Zeb. On Wednesday, we have an invite from the Idaho Transportation Department to everyone to come to an open house. This is going to be Wednesday, January 31st at Burley City Hall from 4 to 6 p.m. Basically, they are talking about a planned roadway project on US 30 west from Burley. And so this public meeting is just to help everyone kind of know what's going on with that. So again, that's Wednesday, 4 to 6 p.m., Burley City Hall. Phew, we made it.
You know, I'm kind of concerned about you. Do you have a can of 3-in-1 oil over at your office? You better oil.
I had a lot of chocolate this morning.
Well, you better oil your jaw, because I'm telling you what, it was burning oil there for a little bit. You really went through those pretty fast.
Well, we've been getting a lot of calls, and that's fantastic. I mean, people want to know what's going on, and we're really excited about that annual chamber installation banquet that we're going to be having on February 1st. That'll be over at the Best Western Convention Center. It starts at 6, and this is hilarious, Deb. I experienced it for my first time last year, but we have wonderful table sponsors. They decorate the tables with incredible, what we call swag. Like last year, one table, everybody got a Yeti cooler. I don't even know a banquet that does that around
Wow.
here. And so the tickets are $25 for chamber members, $35 for non-members. I don't know if the Yeti coolers are a part of that this year, but everybody decorates their table, every business, with a bunch of wonderful stuff. And then literally we open the doors at 6, and people just kind of run to the table that they want the stuff from. And we're very grateful, and it's just a great night to celebrate. Honor those board members who are outgoing, and then welcome the new ones that are coming in to, volunteer their time. And we have a lot of great awards. We're awarding the Employee of the Year, Boss of the Year, Business of the Year, Volunteer of the Year, Ambassador of the Year, and also the Distinguished Agricultural Leadership Award. So there's a lot of fun folks that are receiving some pretty neat, tributes for all the work that they've done.
Wow, I would say so. Let me ask you, I want to go back to one other topic that you mentioned in the time remaining. You said a snowshoe walking class?
Yes, so have you ever walked in snowshoes?
Okay, now let me just ask you something here. Let me ask you something.
Yes.
You've known me now for about 2 or 3 years, and I'm on crutches. Please picture this. Yes, I have. I had snowshoes on each one of my feet, and then I had outrigger skis, small, about maybe 2 foot long outrigger skis on my crutches. That is an accident that's going to qualify for the utmost premium of Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Well, that's why they have these classes, is because honestly, I've tried doing it. It is not a graceful practice until you get the kind of hang of it. And so they just do a wonderful job out there at City of Rocks and Castle Rock State Park, and the rangers and all the folks that help with instruction. So there's no need, if you've never done anything like this before, just dress warm, sign yourself up, and come on out. And they're going to get you through it all.
Get you through it all are the key words.
Did you take any pictures of yourself? Because honestly, I would have loved to see
No,
that. I thought you did great.
They would border on the obscene, let me tell you. Anyway, I want to ask you real quick. Well, I've had some calls. A lady called me last week, as a matter of fact, and she said, well, what are the chamber hours over there? So if we want to buy and go through their gift shop, how do we know they're open?
Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. There are times, like I'll be honest with you, next Thursday, February 1st, we'll probably close the office at about 1 or 2 because we need to go decorate to get ready for the banquet. We do have a volunteer that can be in there at times. If the weather is bad outside, sometimes our volunteers can't make it in, and we totally understand that. But just give us a call ahead of time at 208-679-4793. But other than that, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, we're in there. Lots of great stuff. Come on in.
Okay, well, listen, it was a great program this morning, and I suggest you go get a cold glass of iced tea or whatever, sit down and rest. You must be tired.
Oh, this is fun. It's a very exciting time of year, new year, lots of great stuff. We just got back from the legislature, Zeb, where we got to see our local legislators in action at the State House in Boise, and they spent some time with our leadership class. And we just want to thank Senator Anthon and House Speaker Bedke and Representative Fred Wood for spending some time with us. That was great.
Very well done.
Thank you.
Very well done. Kyle over at the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce, thank you so much. God bless. We'll talk to you next week.
Take care, Zeb.
All right, take care. Nice lady right there at your Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce. Oh, let's see. Want to remind you, too, before I go too much further, that we have a program on Tuesdays. And it's called our Legislative Update 2018. And it's sponsored by Handy Truck Lines over at Paul, Idaho with Clay Handy. You know, I'm so proud to have them be our sponsor of our legislators in action in Boise. And they're very, very helpful to us to support this segment, get it on the air. And don't forget Handy Truck Lines, providing transportation services to Idaho and the surrounding states with terminals in Pocatello, Meridian, and Salt Lake City, Utah. Very pleased to be serving the businesses in our communities, and that's Handy Truck Lines in Paul with Clay Handy. Thank you very much. That's every Tuesday at 9:30 right here on Zeb at the Ranch. Don't you miss that. Right now, I'm going to just tell you this good word about our friends at Let's Ride. Oh, ho, ho, ho. With the impending snow over my left shoulder to the west, if you haven't got a snowmobile, you better get over there to Let's Ride and check it out. They're located at 270 Highway 24 between Rupert and the World. Let's Ride. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturdays, 9 to 4. All the snowmobiles, all the 4x4s, all the side-by-sides. What a phenomenal accessory department. And don't forget, too, that they've got a service department that'll knock your socks off. Absolutely, they know how to fix things up and keep you running. Don't forget, Let's Ride, the original where the fun is sold. Let's Ride, 270 Highway 24 over by Rupert. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, getting to know all the wonderful people that care for you at the Cassia Regional Hospital. Let's hear what they have to say today.
People caring about you and your health care in the most professional and progressive ways. That's Cassia Regional Hospital, located at 1501 Highland Avenue in Burley. In a moment, we'll introduce you to just one of the many dedicated medical experts serving you at Cassia Regional Hospital. Today's program, right after this. Cassia Regional Hospital provides you and your family excellent health care answers and services. They're right here, close to home. That's right. Cassia Regional Hospital offers the latest technological advances in medicine, like their new oncology programs and telehealth, which uses electronic information and telecommunications to promote long-distance patient and clinical health care. Your friends, your neighbors. Cassia Regional Hospital, 1501 Highland Avenue in Burley. Quality care, close to home. On the program with me today, Michelle Pond-Bell, nurse administrator at Cassia Regional Hospital, and we're going to talk about the Cassia Regional Hospital Oncology Program. Good morning, Michelle. Tell us a little bit about the oncology program, what it means to the public, and what it does for the people of Magic Valley.
Good morning, Zeb. Thank you for inviting me to be on your program today. We have started up our oncology program here at Cassia Regional Hospital to support our patients and their families in our local communities. With our program, we are able to provide chemotherapy and oncology services to the patients in the area, which allows them the opportunity to stay at home and have their care here in the local community. So we're very excited about the program.
Well, it sounds really innovative. What about all the care that's necessary for the various forms of cancer and the treatment, et cetera? Can all of that be administered right there at Cassia Regional?
Our focus with oncology services is with the IV therapy and the providing the chemotherapy here locally in the community. If it's extensive oncology treatment, say radiation, other forms of cancer treatments that way, we don't provide that here, but our focus right now is just on the IV infusion chemotherapy products that we can provide to our patients.
There's so many things, Michelle, that I don't know and understand with innovations in medicine. Well, first of all, tell us about the physicians that are there serving the oncology program, and then also a little bit about telemedicine. I'm really interested in that aspect.
With our program here locally, we don't have an oncologist here on site, but we've had the great opportunity working with Intermountain Healthcare that we have a physician who is oncology certified. He's an expert in the field who interviews all of our patients through tele-oncology services. So we have telehealth, and through that, our patients can stay here locally in the Burley community, be visited with by the physician from actually from Dixie Medical Center in St. George, and ask all the questions that they need to ask, get all the education information that they need, and then he and his team oversee all the treatment that we provide to patients here locally. So it's a great benefit.
This sounds to me, and I'm completely of not very much understanding on this new innovative idea, but it sounds to me like the patients can go to Cassia Regional. They're still visiting with doctors that are helping them with their treatments through the telehealth program, and saving money of not having to drive here and there and everywhere.
And that's correct. We see patients that are in different programs, whether it's different oncology programs here in the state of Idaho or from other states, who are following a protocol, say from a program in Utah. With that, we here at Cassia Regional can oversee and follow that protocol here, providing the protocol that the patient's individual oncologist wants them to follow, with oversight by our oncology specialty team out of Intermountain Healthcare. So it's a great resource for patients where they may go to a different oncology center, have a different protocol, but it's overseen by Intermountain and our specialists here. But with that, it allows our patients to stay in the community. They don't have to travel. They don't have to get hotel rooms. The family doesn't have to move. And if you've ever had chemo or any kind of treatments like those, you don't feel very well. It's nice to be able to stay home and go home and recover. And what they're showing is that patients have saved an average of about $400 a month in travel costs just by being able to have their treatment here at Cassia.
Wow, that's almost a combined savings of over $5,000 a year with this service through Cassia Regional Hospital. Tell me a little bit, Michelle, if you would, please, in regards to cancer itself. And are we finding cures? Are we finding the necessary means to treat it so that patients have a more optimistic outlook? Tell us a little bit about that.
I'm very positive and hopeful with cancer research that we can find a cure for cancer, because I think everybody, either individually or through someone in your own family, has had an experience with cancer. I know personally in my own family, I have a family member who is still undergoing ongoing cancer treatments for reoccurrences of cancer. I'm hopeful, and my family member's goal is to outlive cancer until they can find a cure. I think in our environment these days, we are seeing more and more people that have cancers that have never had a family history of cancer, and it's becoming more and more predominant. People need to be very diligent about their health screenings, their health care, making sure that everything's looking good to prevent, because many of the cancers are preventable, but it's through good health screenings and good health care by their local physicians to catch those so that we can intervene in a timely manner and prevent, a dramatic outcome.
Michelle Pond-Bell, nurse administrator at Cassia Regional Hospital, and I can tell by the sound of your voice that you're a very proud employee of a very progressive hospital.
I love where I work. Here at Cassia Regional, we are a part of Intermountain Healthcare, and we have nothing but great support from great teams of specialists, whether it's tele-oncology, tele-stroke, tele-wound, etc. I think with that, the thing I'm most proud of is it allows patients and their families to have their care by their local physicians in their own communities and to be able to stay at home and have high-quality care that you'd get in any big city. But I think the care here is much more family and patient-oriented because we see the same people every day that we're taking care of, and we love them, and we want them to get better.
I'm really proud to have this lady on my program this morning. Michelle Pond-Bell, nurse administrator with Cassia Regional Hospital in the oncology program. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Bell, and I really appreciate your time. And I hope people do their screenings and prevent and don't have an occurrence of cancer. So, and if they do, we're more than willing to see them here and provide care.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tune in every Thursday at 9:18 right here on Zeb at the Ranch for more about the people and the healthcare services at your Cassia Regional Hospital, 1501 Highland Avenue in Burley. Quality care close to home.
You know, I got to tell you folks something that we cut some more of those programs that you'll be hearing every week right here on Zeb at the Ranch at about 9:18. And you talk about impressed. I mean, I was impressed. We had 3 ladies come by the studio. I think it was day before yesterday. And I guarantee you they are sharp. They know what they're talking about. Each one of them acted like they had done a national broadcast every day of the week, and I was really impressed with the way that they knew all the knowledge and answered the questions. Sharp people over at Cassia Regional Hospital. Very nice people. Okay, let's see. I also want to mention to you right now our friends at Cameron and Siemens Insurance. Hello, all your life insurance, health insurance, retirement planning, employee benefits. They know all of this. They can help you with all of that. All you need to do is just call the number. Call the number 436-4424. That will make an appointment at Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. They're very dedicated, very responsive to your needs. So please, remember the number. Call it right now. 436-4424. Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. Now, real fast. Had a call and somebody said, are you still going to have lunch bunch? Yes, we're still going to have lunch bunch. And it's not snowing at my place yet, and I don't think we're going to get that much, if you will. And so we're going to have lunch bunch today at 11:30 at, of course, Denny's Restaurant, America's Diner.
It's snowing in Burley.
It just started snowing in Burley? Oh, okay, it's snowing in Burley. All I can tell you is that our plans are still go at Denny's Restaurant, 611 North Overland in Burley. And, of course, we want to say thank you to all of our gift certificate sponsors, etc. And they are as follows: Walmart, Smith's Foods, Hanson Mortuary, Stokes Groceries, Doug Martin, Pomerell Place, and Denny's themselves. So thank you very much. And like I said, we're still planning on it unless we have an absolute blizzard. We're going to be there at 11:30 for lunch bunch at Denny's, America's Diner. Don't you miss it. Next week on the program, on Monday, we've got some really, really special folks, including Maria Espinoza. And Maria Espinoza probably is one of the most outspoken and knowledgeable people about the DACA Dreamers and also illegal immigration. And she is going to be on our program at exactly 10:32 next Monday. So if you have any calls or questions, that's the lady to talk to. Maria Espinoza back on our program next Monday at 10:30. I am getting close to having another wonderful lady on my program momentarily, and I'm going to check with Wheels and see if she's already called in. Wheels, is the lovely Rita there this morning?
Yes, sir. She just called in, actually.
Well, there you go. And by the way, Mr. Wheels, good job this morning.
Well, thank you. I'm glad that Cassia Regional went smooth like it did and that we didn't have any issues. I know you were talking about that the intro was kind of messed up.
Well, we always want to make sure that, everything runs smoothly, and you did a really good job. Really good job.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
You. And that was a great segment. I'm looking forward to hearing more about it.
All right, buddy. Right now, we're going to talk to a lady that knows what's going on. She is, and I mean this with all respect, she is a news junkie just like I am. I mean, she knows what's going on. Good morning, Rita Ramsey. How are you?
Good morning. I'm real good, thank you.
Rita, I don't even know where to start this morning in our little trip down memory lane with all the news stories of this past week and going on right now. Let's start, first of all, with, the dog ate the homework again. 50,000 text messages are missing, just like the old days with our friends in the IRS, Lois Lerner and Hillary. It seems like the negative, bad people in the news, they have a protection device, and it's called, oops, somebody lost the information.
Yeah, it's quite interesting that it's just a specific segment, not just like, oh my goodness, it's just the whole thing, or, just a few, and then there's a pattern of how they were lost, so it was electronic or anything else. What my big question is remember that big old NSA thing they built down in Utah, South Salt Lake, and down towards Bluffville or whatever it's called. And they built that so they could store everything. What happened there? We spent millions upon millions of dollars for that.
How dare you question it? I mean, my goodness, they're on top of things, but it's lost. Why? In this day of technology and technocracy, why? Read it, all of a sudden, poof, it's gone.
Let me just say, I'll bet you that if I had something that was in question and they wanted to find it, I'll bet you they could find it.
Oh, no doubt. Doesn't it just make... How dumb, honestly, and answer this, how dumb do they think the American public is to be gullible enough to bite on that hook with that no-worm situation?
Well, I guess the part that really makes you sad, and I think it was Pence who said it, he said, I really feel sad. It really makes me sad to think that there are... In fact, he said, it breaks my heart to know that to report that there are bad apples at the FBI. And that's kind of how I feel, because forever and ever, it was like the FBI are kind of the high echelon of people who would protect this country. And the CIA were the ones who were out doing the really tough stuff that was hard, and they were around the world. But the FBI was here just kind of keeping an eye on everything, keeping us safe, and finding out the information that they needed to find out so that the bad guys could be prosecuted and all that. And now you find out that it's all political.
Yeah.
It's not all, and so I wouldn't put all FBI, but some of the higher people in the FBI have made it political, and it's kind of like we're going to do whatever we want to do, and there's no no rules. We just can do whatever.
Do you feel like I do that big money, I'm not talking millions, I'm talking billions, that billions of dollars right now are controlling good versus evil, whether it's Soros or Clinton Foundation or Obama or anything else? I think evil is so prevalent in our politics and in our so-called leadership that if we were to know all the facts and particulars, we'd probably just rock back in our rocking chair and say, Lord, take me now. It's beyond hope.
I think so. It's like, okay, head for the bunker. The thing that's really sad about it is if you look back at the history of the world, it was corrupt civilizations that just totally collapsed.
Yep.
And there weren't any civilizations that lasted longer than a couple of 100 years. And that's why, was because there was so much corruptness and so much pulling. You mentioned earlier on the radio that people pull away from God. Well, that's what collapsed their civilizations, is they got so far away from God that they felt like that they were the gods, and people were starting to worship idols, which is money or things. It doesn't have to be a golden calf like in the Ten Commandments movie, but they just idolize everything except God and put God just on the back burner. And as I think it was Doug who said it, if you turn your back on God, He'll turn His back on you. And I'm not so sure that He'd turn His back on us, but He might smite us and say, listen, I'll just show you who's in charge here. And that's then when the fury happens.
That is exactly right. I want to shift gears here a little bit and go into another story. Let's just say that there is going to be this is supposition, I'm making this up, folks, don't get nervous. There is going to be a very, very liberal speaker coming into the King Fine Arts Center. Oh, no. I dare say that I don't think Rita Ramsey or me, Zeb Bell, or other conservatives are going to sit there and wring their hands out and claw at their hair in fear of what's going to be said by this liberal speaker, and we're not going to need psychiatric treatment. We're not going to have to go pet a llama. How come the other side does?
Well, that's the only thing that they can do to get attention, and the part that's really sad about it is we've got young people who actually believe that it's a catastrophe if somebody has an opposing opinion, instead of, saying, okay, we see this, we can take from this, and we can learn, and if you don't see the bad, how do you know what's good, and that type of thing. There's supposed to be opposition in all things. And that's how you learn and how you grow and how you are able to survive in a society where there's a lot of things going on. And you have to be able to find out what direction you need to go.
Are these kids, these millennials, these under 30-ish, are they that shrinking, that kind of a shrinking violet that they have to absolutely live in fear? Oh, I heard a conservative word today. Oh, no, I've got to run to the bunkers and I've got to pet my doggy or something and get psychiatric help. Are they really that messed up?
I think that they are, and I don't think it's necessarily in our area because we're in a totally different type of geographical area than most people, and the people who surround us are generally good people. A lot of them are religious people. They depend on God to guide and direct the affairs, and maybe they're not really super religious, but I think the majority of the people in our area are that way, and so a lot of that spreads to them, to the millennials. But when you talk to millennials, a lot of times it's just kind of like, oh, I just don't know. Several years ago, it's probably been 10 or 15 years ago now, we had a young guy working for us, and he said, I think it was Mr. Ramsey, asked him, said, well, how are things going? And he goes, well, it's not too bad, but, they never tell me that I'm doing a good job. And it's kind of like, hello? Do you get a paycheck every week? That's saying you're doing a good job. If you're not, we'd talk to you, and you'd be wondering why you weren't getting a paycheck at all anymore. It's just like you have to constantly say, you're doing well, or you're doing good, or we boost them up, or whatever. It's kind of like, you know what? Get your hands in there, get them dirty, and do your work, and don't worry about what the rest of the world's thinking. Just do what you need to do, and don't worry about that.
Amen. Okay, I've got to ask you this. I said yesterday and the day before, I talked extensively about the DACA Dreamers. And I made a comment, and I'll stand behind my comments, or I wouldn't have said it in the first place, that the DACA Dreamers, as far as I'm concerned, shot themselves in the foot, especially with their swearing and their threats and their screaming and their blocking the path to get into Disneyland of all places. I think right there, names should have been taken, and those people are on the short list, if you will, first ones to be deported out of here. I don't want them to even have a chance at being an American citizen when they demand and disrupt to get their way.
Well, that's the stage of our country, is if you make a loud enough noise, everybody will just let you have your way and you can do what you want. We've seen that happen in states like California and New York. and some of the big cities, just like they had the gathering of the mayors yesterday, and there was a couple of them who, not a couple, there's probably more than a couple, who decided they weren't going to attend because we don't agree with the DACA thing, and we think that we should be able to enforce our own laws and everything else, and maybe we should just sue the president because he's not letting us, enforce our own laws. And it's kind of like, you're breaking federal law. You are not law-abiding any more than anybody else. But when you have leaders of big cities who act that way, what would we expect from these loudmouths that aren't here legal? They don't think they need to go by the law. The part that's sad is they've been here for 15, 20 years. They've known they weren't here legal. Why did they not go to somebody and say, how do I get papers so that I can stay here legally?
Yeah. Right there, there's a caveat that I want to add to what you just said. A lot of these so-called DACA dreamers, many of which are 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 years of age. Rita, what have they been doing all these years to solidify the opportunity to stay here? Have they been going to their local offices of the congressmen and the senators in that respective area and trying to get information as to what they can do to elongate their stay here? It's not that this little thing was dropped on their heads overnight. I don't have any sympathy for them. I'm sorry, I sound cold and hard and callous, but I think the dreamers are absolutely frauds.
Well, they are, and the part that's sad about it is they should be mad at their parents, and they're not.
Right.
Their parents are the ones who brought them here. Why are they not mad at their parents or say, take us back home and let us come here legally? It's just kind of like, you owe it to us, and we can get on all the free stuff and do whatever we need to do, and you just bow down to us. That's not the way that it works. They need to come here legally and show that they can be independent, they can make a living on their own, that they're not getting all the free stuff, and that they can be a contribution to the society of our country and help to promote it, and that they obviously they haven't integrated in all that much time, so why don't they just go back to Mexico?
Well, and the other point of this is too, as far as the families and the chain migration and everything else. Wait a minute. My heart does not bleed, as Nancy Appaloosa and Dick Durbin and the rest of them have said. No, my heart does not bleed for these people because, quite frankly, they've been a cost factor to the United States. They are not all going to be the top students in their class. They are not all going to be rocket scientists. Let's be real here. A lot of these DACA dreamers have been picked up as felons. They have been arrested for gang membership. I mean, we're not getting in all instances the cream of the crop that the Democratic left leads people to believe.
They're not. The Democrats don't want the cream of the crop. They want the slave labor. They want anybody that they can be in charge of and say, if you vote for us, we'll take care of you. Therefore, it makes them a slave. And so these people who think that, man, they've got our best interest at heart, they're totally wrong. Those people, the Democrats who want them here, and I might add, there are many Republicans who want them here too, like the Chamber of Commerce and those type of people who are out there just promoting all of this, is that they want to have a mentality of, we're in charge, and we will take care of you, and you vote and keep us in office and keep our programs going, period.
I want to go back to the mayors, though, and the absolute repulsiveness of New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio and the arrogant, repugnant stance of Rahm Emanuel in Chicago. I had time to visit with a very good friend of mine that's in politics in another state yesterday, and he said, too, that these mayors that are arrogantly saying to the federal government, get out of here, we're not going to pay any attention to the laws, we're going to run this city as a sanctuary for possible felons and illegals, stay away from us. They should be up on charges, and I would like to see people like Emanuel and de Blasio hauled into court and possibly serve jail time for breaking the law. Rita Ramsey, Zeb Bell break the law, we're going to suffer the consequences. Why can't they?
Well, they should, and they vowed when they were sworn in that they would uphold the Constitution, which means enforcing the law.
Yes.
And they're not doing that. They're not protecting their citizens. And so they ought to be hauled in and incarcerated. The very big problem is a lot of them were elected with an attitude like that. You could take a parallel with that and say, you know what, just take away any of their federal funds until they decide they're going to obey the law.
Amen. Amen.
And if a church didn't obey the law, they would have any federal funds or all their tax status changed and everything. Why won't they do it with those cities?
That's absolutely true. I've got to get a weather forecast on here quickly. Stay tuned. And Rita, when I come back, I want to talk about a very dear friend of yours. And I know you can't wait to support him for running for president in 2020. John Kerry. Stand by. And right now, our weather brought to you by Phillips, Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company. If you have any questions about taxes, tax planning, your business, etc., don't hesitate. These folks are the best. They've been serving the Mini-Cash area for well over 50 years. With the best of accounting services, Phillips, Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company. I urge you to call or stop in to either their Burley or Rupert office. They can, and they will help you. They can help people starting a business, enlarging a business, increasing the employees, or maybe starting a corporation. All of this and so much more. Phillips, Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company. And right now, here's Gina with the weather.
Maybe some snow showers for today, tomorrow, and for Saturday as we head on into the weekend. And for today, we are expecting some rain and snow showers, likely before noon, then a chance of snow showers in the afternoon hours. Mostly cloudy skies, gradually becoming mostly sunny, fingers crossed on that one, with a high of 39. Going to be windy as well out of the southwest, right around 15 miles an hour. Expecting gusts as high as 30 miles an hour. For tonight, 20% chance of snow showers, mostly cloudy skies. Low of 25 tomorrow. 40% chance of snow showers, mostly before noon. After that, mostly cloudy skies with a high of 37. Friday night, mostly cloudy skies with a low of 24. Saturday, 40% chance of snow showers, mostly cloudy skies with a high of 40. And for Sunday, partly sunny skies and a high of 45. That is your weather for Zeb at the Range.
Oh, Gina, thank you. Well done. And, of course, the sponsor of our weather for this hour, super great people that can help you with your tax return preparations, tax planning, bookkeeping services, retirement planning, and so much more. Phillips, Oaks, Goodwin, Crane, and Company, with offices in Burley and Rupert. Rita, I know I was being a little facetious a moment ago, but yes, he has intimated that he may run for the presidency again. Mr. Ketchup, John Kerry.
I kind of think he's a lurch kind of a guy. I just can't imagine him as being the president. And I don't think if he ran that he would get very far with that. He's had his round. It didn't go well. He had a lot of stuff early on in the Vietnam War where he was such a patriot and called all of our soldiers that were in Vietnam the murders that he called them and I just don't think it'll go very far.
I certainly hope not. But let me ask you this question about the Democratic Party. Not that I'm concerned about what they do, because I don't think they do anything very well. But you would think, after the devastating and debilitating loss of Hillary Clinton as an extremely poor candidate, that the Democratic Party would try to find someone and groom someone that wasn't a far left, but a moderate. And I'm thinking of someone like, and I'm just going to throw this name at you, Joe Manchin from Virginia. But they don't. They come up with these loonies like John Kerry and Oprah Winfrey.
Well, the only people that have any stance in the Democratic Party are the ones who have gone so far left and socialist that they just agree with everything. If you're moderate, it's kind of like, oh, you're too close to somebody else. They've just totally gone out of their mind. They just don't even think straight.
What else is going on in the news today that perhaps I might have overlooked? I always want to give you some time because you've got some great subjects yourself. Anything that you would like to report on this morning?
Actually, I do have something. Back in December, Education Secretary Betsy DeVos attended a meeting, and her remarks were that Common Core is dead. And they're making that getting rid of a lot of those things. She said, when we had No Child Left Behind, which was back in the Bush era, and then Common Core came along, and that was because they put a bunch of money out in front of the governors and said, hey, we'll give you money, and they said, okay, and we'll do it. She said valiant efforts to improve education from both parties have failed, and the reason that they have failed is because the federal government was involved in it. And so they're making some changes with that. I got a email from one of the representatives that's up at the State House, and he talked about that the SBAC tests are not going to be required anymore. And he said it makes it so the federal government can't threaten us if we get the federal government out of funding our education. And this is what they need to do, and this is one of the things that they're really working on. They've had a lot of opposition from the Speaker of the House and some of the other people about just leaving Common Core alone, and I think it's all attached to money. But being that this is coming down the pike and different, I think they'll be able to get somewhere with it and let some of the local educators be a little bit more in charge of education for our students, because they found out since 2009, it's taken us 9 years to understand it, that it's not working, it's not good for our kids. The only problem is that we've had a lot of kids that have lost a lot of good education time.
I agree. I wanted to ask you about one other subject, and I know I'm jumping into a pit of coals here in some regard, but what are your thoughts? There's been talk, negative and positive, about having a constitutional convention. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, my first thought is, if we leave it up to Congress, they won't do anything. We've seen that happen. The only way you're going to get any kind of restraint on how long they can live, term limits, how long they can stay in office, is if the states implement it and say this is what you'll go by, because the Congress, the Senate and the Congress, senators and the Congress will not vote on term limits. The only way we're going to get things squared around, straightened up, or changed is if we have term limits. And it has to be on the senators, it has to be on the representatives, and it has to be on the Supreme Court. If we don't do that and the states vote on that, how are we going to do it?
Yeah.
I've never heard anybody have any kind of a plan except with that particular way of doing it. They meet together and they say, we're going to have term limits. The end. 38 states have to agree on it. So it's not like there's going to be a runaway, but you've got a lot of people out there that are just rabid and we can't have a constitution, it'll just be runaway, but they don't have any kind of a, this is what we could do instead. So,
are there, in your opinion, and believe me, I've heard a lot of arguments, pro and con. A lot of people call me after the program that don't want to go on the air, and that's a shame. But what are your fears and trepidations, and how are they offset by possibly having a constitutional convention?
Well, first of all, it wouldn't be a constitutional convention because that actually does go through the Congress. They would have to do an Article 5, which is a convention of states.
Right.
And 34 states have to agree to do it. Everybody gets the same vote. It's not like California will get 185 and Idaho gets 1. Everybody would get the same amount. They would vote on one or two items they were going to deal with. They would vote, decide yes or no, and that would be the end of it. And I just don't see how it gets rid of the Constitution, which is what most of these people are just so upset about.
Yeah.
And term limits is the one place to start. That would solve a lot.
I agree. Rita, as usual, you are right up to speed. You're in overdrive with your knowledge, and I appreciate you. And it is snowing outside, so have a wonderful day, and I hope everything goes well till next week.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
God bless. Thank you so much. Love having that lady on my program, Rita Ramsey, and her segment of kind of going through the news, and I thank her for that. Oh, boy. You know, I'm on a self-imposed diet. You know, you've heard me say that, and I've dropped a lot of weight. I'm wearing Wranglers that just kind of hid in the closet on me, and now they're coming forth and saying, wear me, wear me. Okay. Well, anyway, I still get hungry and splurge every now and then. That's why I want to tell you about, if you're hungry and starving to death, I know some great places to go, like the AC Drive-In at 601 East Main in Burley. Oh, the delicious eggnog shakes. I love eggnog shakes. And I tell you what, it's great with the chicken fried steak sandwich and fries with that special sauce, or my favorite, the famous Farmer Brown burger. Oh, delicious at the AC Drive-In, 601 East Main in Burley. Well, let's run on over to Taco Bandito at 2301 Overland in Burley. Have you had that breakfast burrito? Knock your boots off, delicious. Scrambled eggs, bacon and sausage, cheese, onions, tomato sauce on a tortilla shell. Oh, boy. Great way to start the day. Delicious food, all the food on the menu at the Taco Bandito, 2301 Overland in Burley. Let's move over now to two locations of Burgers Etc. 124 South Oneida in Rupert and 700 Overland in Burley. They have got delicious soups, different soups every day of the week. And they've got a phenomenal mushroom burger combo. And it's only $5.99 after 3 p.m. Oh, my. Nice people. Super food at Burgers Etc. in Rupert and Burley. And let's now go to Steve-O's. Great food, the way you love it, at 290 South, 600 west of Hayburn. And don't forget they got that salad. I keep getting calls about that salad. It's called the Chaos Salad. Chicken breast with bacon, pickles, jalapeno peppers, and all the goodies, lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers, everything. All locally grown. You're going to love it. You will. And a different soup every day. Friendly servers. What a great staff at Steve-O's, 290 South, 600 west of Hayburn. And those are just a few great places to go when you're hungry and starving to death. We are going to take a little break for the news right now. I'm going to keep an eye in the sky and see what's happening with our weather. And coming up next hour, we have Cashew County School Days, and Debbie Critchfield is going to be our guest this morning. And then we've got our business salute with Jeff over at Lee's Furniture. And then the next half hour, we're going to have an open forum at 10:32 for a little bit. Your calls will be appreciated. And then yours truly and my lovely bride are going to zip in the four-wheeled wonder down to Burley for our lunch bunch at Denny's starting at 11:30. Right now, over to Wheels and the news. Oh, my. Yes. It is snowing here, not heavily, but snowing, and good morning to you and yours. Yes, and we're still going to have lunch bunch at 11:30. Yes, we are. Don't forget Zeb at the Ranch. I'm Zeb Bell with our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you for wintertime driving, and also some of our great advertisers like Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation at 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, helping you get back to being you. In a couple of minutes, we're going to have Cassia County School Days, but before we go there, I want to say good morning to all the great folks over at Ark Animal Hospital, 750 21st Street near Connection Credit Union in Hayburn. Hello, Dr. Bill. Hello, staff. You know, calving is going on right now, and stock up on all your calving needs at Ark Animal Hospital. And don't forget that Ark Animal Hospital is a mixed animal practice, meaning big or small, they love them and take care of them all. Oh, and by the way, puppies right now, it's a great time to get the current pyro vaccines. Don't forget, this is really, really important for your dogs. Well, I'll tell you what, they're located at 750 21st Street near Connection Credit Union in Hayburn. The number to call, the number to remember, 678-1177. Ark Animal Hospital, where they have warm hearts for the cold noses. Really good people. Oh, my goodness sakes. Let's see what else we got cooking here this morning. Lunch Bunch will be at 11:30 today. We're going to mush the Huskies over there at Denny's Restaurant, 611 North Overland in Burley. And don't forget, we've got a lot of door prizes to give away. No, we're not giving doors away, but great gift certificates. Walmart, and thanks to Smith's Foods, Hanson Mortuary, Stokes Grocery, Doug Martin, Pomerell Place, and Denny's themselves. And so you be there at 11:30 today for our Zeb's Lunch Bunch. Right now, we're going to get all set to go with our next program on Zeb at the Ranch this morning. And it's Cassia County School Days. We have had and enjoyed this segment for a long time on this program, and our thanks go out to our two major sponsors of this segment, A Child's World at 1308 Overland in Burley. They've got all the clothing over there, the dresses and the warm coats, and they've got all the toys and the games and the puzzles and the baby furniture. The list goes on and on. All you need to do is stop into a family store, Child's World at 1308 Overland in Burley. And then also thanking the other sponsor of our great segment, Cassia County School Days, Ambulatory Surgery Center at 1344 Highland Avenue in Burley. And the telephone number is so important. Call them and find out how they can save you money on your outpatient surgeries. Absolutely. The life-saving colonoscopies, knee surgery, hand surgeries, 677-8888. That number again, 677-8888. Ambulatory Surgery Center, along with A Child's World, bringing you school days in Cassia County. Right now, a lady that I have so much respect for, and she does a phenomenal job, and she is the Cassia County Schools Communications Officer, Debbie Critchfield. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
How are you?
I am well.
I haven't
went over your way.
I am hoping that the angel dandruff that's falling does not accumulate to any degree.
I won't argue with that.
Okay. What's going on in Cassia County with the schools? I've read some articles and everything I'm sure we're going to get into, but I'm going to kind of let you quarterback it and take it where you want right now for the beginning of our discussion.
I know last week you had a very exciting guest in the person of, in the voice of Kim Kane.
Yes.
From Idaho's Health and Welfare. And the suicide awareness and prevention is an issue that our district and board is very interested in tackling. And in coordination with Minidoka School Districts, we are looking at forming a local chapter. It's called a SPAN chapter, a Suicide Prevention Awareness Network. There's a chapter in Twin Falls and some others around the state. And as we look at first steps, we've identified that putting the right infrastructure into place. And so we are looking for folks. We've had some interest in the community beyond simply school district employees that have expressed an interest in participating in a real effort to bring awareness and to kind of get the conversation going more broadly. And so if there are folks that are interested in participating in something like this as we get going, I'd encourage them to give me a call. They can call the school district central office and locate me that way. But as we look, like I say, at the next steps, that's where we've identified as our starting place.
You know, Debbie, I was very, very fortunate to have Kim on the program last week, and I did receive numerous phone calls after the show. And I would say that out of the perhaps half dozen phone calls that I had, the central gist of their questions was, here, Idaho, is it really that predominant? People seem to be unaware.
And I think that's where we want to start is there's information and data out there, and these things are happening, and typically and usually we read about them in the paper, and after the fact we all have similar thoughts of, oh man, I wish I would have known something, or it really causes you to reflect on the people in your own life and think, what can I do better to be a positive force to those that are around me? And so as we look at starting this SPAN chapter in the Mini-Cassia area, and we can get that infrastructure built in a core group of people, we can look through the appropriate strategies and training, and I know Kim was so helpful in helping us understand the right and appropriate ways to go about these conversations, and that's really at the heart of this.
Right.
We know things are happening, and we can't control everything around us, but we can make a real effort to bring more awareness.
You know, one of the things, and I don't mean to bring up anything as far as suicide prevention or anything else, but I will say this. I think we all need to be much more cognizant and much more aware of what people do, what people say, what they don't say. I think a lot of it is we're just not aware.
I agree, and I appreciated her focus on being positive and providing hope, encouraging people in what we say, and helping them, all of us really, to see that there's a lot of things that we have to be grateful for, that there's a lot of reasons to want to live, and really kind of become an ambassador for being happy and seeing as some of these things, which isn't to discount that there are serious problems and serious issues that people face in their life, but if we can help to encourage people, and I think that that's part of this overall effort.
Okay. Well, it sounds to me, and I've said this many times on the air, that the Cassia County School District, and now you're teaming up with Minidoka, and really progressive thinking to stop a potential problem. I really admire all the folks in charge.
Well, we feel a great responsibility with 5,600 students here in Cassia County, and our students spend a good chunk of their lives in our school system, and we are motivated to provide resources and an education that really is about the whole child, not just about the academic side. There are so many other parts to development and achieving things. It's not just about whether or not you got a good grade. So that's something I think that in general and nationally schools are taking more of a look at.
Absolutely. Okay, now, what else is going on within the Cassia County School District? What other news or what other items do you want to cover this morning?
Let's talk about our supplemental levy renewal.
I read about it in the paper.
Yeah, so that is something that last Thursday, our trustees met and went through, well, they've been discussing it for several months leading up to a decision, and they have decided to pursue a renewal of the supplemental. This is a levy that has been in place, at least in Cassia County, since 1979, and it's a 2-year levy that the patrons in the county have very generously renewed every year. And this coming cycle will be the 13th of March. Those election dates are set by the state, so that's not something that we determine. We have to, fall in line with the set dates. And the supplemental levy could be anything from textbooks to transportation to fuel to school desks, anything that helps supplement the general fund. And the two issues that our trustees have chosen to focus on with this next renewal are safety and curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
And so as precautionary or preventative, I don't know what you want to call it, but over the last couple of years with the national landscape of violence in schools, we have adopted and made another real effort to beef up and to expand the security policies that we have. We have threat assessment teams. We work closely with law enforcement. We have sought to put cameras onto school buses and to provide more security within the schools themselves, whether it's, certain types of locks on doors that, you can only get in with, a swiping card or a key fob. Anyhow, that is one of the areas that the trustees have focused on, and the supplemental levy, the details of that, what's involved in that number will reflect that and books.
Debbie, I've got a question for you this morning, and it maybe is way out in left field, but I thought I'd ask you anyway. Bus drivers. And, we always hear the negativity about the bus driver said this or the bus driver touched that child in anger or whatever. But, bus drivers, they really have to put up with a lot on these buses, sometimes with very unruly children, sometimes with much verbal abuse abuse. It must be hard to find bus drivers, and how do you make sure that they have an environment where they're not the ones that are being abused?
It is a challenge to find bus drivers, and frankly, part of it is pay. School districts are notorious for not compensating our folks like we would like to do. I guess something I'd like to bring to the attention of anyone, and I hadn't thought about this until recently, that the school day officially starts the minute that child gets on the school bus. The school district is then responsible for that child. And you are right that a bus, and bless those people who do it, we need them and we value them, but that would be hard to transport a bus of, full of students that are anxious and all sorts of emotions getting to schools. And you're right, we have heard and seen on the news a variety of incidences involving bus drivers. And I think there's two ways that you would look at having increased security by way of cameras or so forth on the bus. One, of course, is to protect the student, but the other side of that is to protect the driver.
Right.
And there's a lot of training that goes into being a bus driver and a professional development that continues over time, but things happen. And it's nice, I think, the peace of mind on the driver's side and on the parent side that, heaven forbid, something goes wrong, we're able to go to a reliable source.
Absolutely. I didn't mean to overshadow the supplemental levy because I think it would be appropriate that we highlight the dates of the when the voting is going to take place, etc. So I apologize for interrupting you on that.
Oh, no, March 13th, and we'll have a lot of communication out into the community. It's certainly not a, hey, we told you once, we hope you remember. We're very motivated to make sure that all of the voters can be connected to the information that they want. We have all kinds of information about it on our website. And frankly, we hope that will be a primary source for people. And kind of in the digital age, it's easy to go from, on your phone or your device or whatever you've got. If you have questions, we want to, encourage people to go to our website. Certainly making phone calls, visiting with teachers, we will get information out. It is not something that we want to hide. It is a tax that folks need to vote on. And as we talk about exactly the details that are in there, and we touched on safety, and the other thing that I mentioned particularly is curriculum. And over time, state funds that come into school districts have really evaporated when it comes to textbooks, library books, and some of those things. And I know that there is sometimes folks will think, well, there's all this technology, do we still even use books? Absolutely, we use and want books.
Right.
And if we are successful in the renewal of the supplemental, it will be the largest investment in curriculum that we've been able to make in the last 2 years, specifically for math and English.
Wow, we're out of time, but you are always so good at not only lining up the guests for this program, but being on here yourself. Debbie Critchfield, Cassia County Schools Communications Officer, and any final great words of wisdom before I have to say adios?
We always encourage the public to ask questions, be involved, and if you don't get an answer off the website, please call the central office. I'm always happy to visit with people, and we enjoy the good partnership and relationship we have with our community members.
Absolutely. Debbie Critchfield, thank you so much on behalf of Cassia County School Days. God bless. Please come back soon.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that lady, and she does a great job, not only being on the program, but also lining up all the great guests. We appreciate what they do. Of course, I want to thank on Cassia County School Days our two major sponsors, and they are A Child's World at 1308 Overland in Burley. Thank you so much. Along with Ambulatory Surgery Center. For your outpatient surgeries, call them today. They're located at 1344 Highland in Burley, 677-8888. Thank you very much. Let's see. In just a moment, we're going to zip on over to Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More and talk to Jeff in just a moment. I want to remind everybody, what's the matter, Deanne? You've got a very pained look on your face as you look out the window. I want to remind everybody we are going to have lunch bunch. We're going to mush the Huskies through the snow and be there at 11:30. And again, our thanks go to Walmart, Smith's Foods, Hanson Mortuary, Stokes Groceries, Doug Martin, along with Palmer L Place, and Denny's Restaurant. Thank you for all the gift certificates to our guests, starting time at 11:30. Right now, it's time to go over and see our old buddy, and that's at Lee's Furniture, Floors, and More at 459 Overland and Burley. Jeff Bronson, how in the dickens are you?
Well, I'm doing great, Zeb. Thank you. How are you?
Well, I'm doing peachy, wonderful, fine, and you have got a great tagline to start things off on your advertisement this morning. Out with the old, in with the new. Boy, it sounds like a lot of good renovation to beautify their home.
Yes, in fact, Zeb, since I last spoke with you, I have some additional information I'd love to share. But before I get to that, just to share to all of your listeners, we have a significant special going right now. You can carpet your entire home, which is the equivalent of, say, a living room, hall, and 3 bedrooms, up to 115 yards, which is quite a bit of yardage, Zeb. Most jobs that we've been doing are much less than that. Anyhow, you can install that carpet and pad, both new, for $69 a month. And if you wish to upgrade to more of a medium grade or a premium grade carpet, you can actually do that for less than $99 a month.
Wow.
This is a huge special.
And it takes care of how much carpeting in the house? Actually, it's for the carpeting in your living room, hall, and 3 bedrooms. That's a lot of carpet.
Yeah, but we didn't stop right there. We also carry one of the largest selections of floor covering in stock in the Magic Valley. For anybody that's been in, they know that we carry a large selection of carpet in stock, plus more in our warehouse. But, Zeb, we are expanding our floor covering department, and we now carry also in stock many additional styles of luxury vinyl plank. And what that is that's the new wood look, resilient flooring that you put down in planks. Many of them can be glued. Many of them are floating floors, which you just lock together. But these are waterproof floors, many with 25-year warranties and commercial wear warranties. And they are solo maintenance, easy to install, and they look fantastic. We have these in stock, Zeb.
Wow, that sounds to me like it'd be great for a young family with a lot of little ones around on the floor.
Yeah, that's exactly right. A lot of people come in and purchase these because they want a floor that they can walk away from and not be looking over their shoulder. The kids can beat it up and destroy it. And what's amazing, if one is even manages to damage one of these planks, you can simply replace it with a new plank.
Wow.
And so everything about these floors are fantastic. A lot of the new homes are putting these in. A lot of homes that people want something to be low maintenance. They want it to last a long time. Everything about these is fantastic.
Tell me a little bit about husband and wife kind of snuggling up a little bit, watching television at night. Sofas, love seats, you got a great price on those too.
Yes, in fact, we have over 60 sofa love sets right now that can be purchased for less than $44 a month. And we can special order them in. We've got a large selection in stock. In fact, we just received a new selection of sofas in stock, a couple of shipments. And on top of that, we have a large selection of recliners that have just arrived. And we'll eventually get to it, so I might as well mention it. We have a large shipment of mattresses that just arrived. Right now, Zeb, you can purchase a premium mattress for $29 a month.
Wow.
It's a great special.
Holy cow. I want to talk just a moment about the recliners, and I've said this on the air a lot of times. You can't just go look at a recliner. You got to kind of try it on because there's tall people, short people, there are skinny people, and then there's the others. And they got to try them on.
I might be one of the others.
Okay.
Yeah, in fact, we want to be known as having the largest selection of recliners in the Magic Valley. We have power recliners, leather recliners. We carry multiple brands, starting with Flex Steel, Lane, Southern Motion, Cat Napper. We've got some Ashley ones on the floor. Anyway, really, we can find a chair that fits just about anybody. And if Grandma needs a new lift chair, we carry those in stock as well.
Absolutely. Tell me just quickly about your great staff. Nice people.
Come in and visit and get acquainted. We've got Hillary, Emily, LeGrand, Morgan, Darren, myself. Any one of them are just fantastic and well qualified to answer any questions that you have in regards to floor covering, furniture. Would love for you to get acquainted with them. We've got just wonderful people.
I'll tell you what, folks, I've known these folks for a long time. And old Jeff heading up the crew over there at Lee's Furniture, Floors and More, 459 Overland and Burley. Jeff, thank you, man. I appreciate it. We'll look forward to having you back on.
Thank you so much, Zeb. Good to visit.
Take care. Thank you. Nice people and so knowledgeable. And that's, of course, the great folks over at Lee's Furniture, Floors and More. I want to tell you about something that's going on in just a matter of days, and it's going to be with our friends at Waddell & Reed. Listen to this. Brian Scott, Dan King, Todd Lovelace, financial advisors with Waddell & Reed. They're going to have a booth this year at Agra Action, and that's going to be at the CSI Expo Center on February 1, 2, and 3. And they're going to be specializing in talking to you about comprehensive financial planning, retirement planning, investment planning, and insurance planning. And they're going to focus on farm and ranch succession planning. Very, very important. And then they're going to have a free educational seminar on farm and ranch succession planning at their office on Tuesday, February 6th at 6:30 p.m. at Waddell & Reed in Twin Falls at 1146 Eastland Drive North in Twin. You'd better be there. I'm going to be there. A lot of us in agriculture need to be there. The number to call to RSVP 732-7695. Holy cow. Let's get ready right now for a little break at the bottom of the hour. Send it over to Wheels. We'll be back in about 3 minutes.
And now, back to Zeb at the Ranch on AM 1230 KBAR. To reach Zeb, call 436-2244 or toll free 1-866-927-4587. And now, here is Zeb.
And a good day to you. Hope all is well out there in Radio Land on this Thursday, January the 25th. And I would like to hear from you. You can talk about anything you want to talk about for the next couple of minutes. I'd love to hear from you, and the number to call 436-2244 1-866-927-4587. Give us a jingle. I saw an article in the paper the other day that said from the police departments, don't leave your garage opener in your car. And it says to be sure to lock all doors that allow entry into your home, regardless if it is connected to a secured garage or not. And then they said, also leaving a light on inside your home as well as lighting the exterior of your home are always great ways to deter crime from occurring around your residence. But they were saying that don't leave your garage opener in your car. And they've had a lot of trouble lately in the Twin Falls, Jerome, and Kimberly areas, and they say you should never leave your garage opener in your car. They'll smash the windows if it's parked outside. Get your garage opener, and you're going to have a heap of trouble. So just another safety note, they said that windows are broken out in vehicles, and they'll activate the garage door openers, and then they are carting off a lot of your possessions. So please don't leave your garage opener in your car. And if you have a rear access to your garage or so, either nail it shut or do whatever on the inside so they can't get in. Make it tough for these people to commit the crimes against us. I've always been kind of favor of wiring the doorknobs to 220, but that's frowned upon. But anyhow, just a little safety note there. Be careful out there, folks. There's a lot of bad people, especially now, more so than in years past, and you've got to be aware of what to do to protect you and your property. Maybe you got some other ideas as to what we can do. Dig a tiger pit or whatever with sharp stakes in the bottom of it. I guess that might be frowned upon, too. Give us a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Give me a jingle on the landline. Let's see. In the paper this morning, while I'm waiting for some of your calls, remember singer and actress Cher? Who really, honestly cares who Scher is endorsing for a possible governor nomination for the state of Idaho. They had a story. I don't know if you saw this or not. It was kind of hidden up against the crease in the paper this morning, and it wasn't a very big story. It said, singer and actress Scher has endorsed Democratic State Representative Paulette Jordan in the race to become Idaho's next governor. Oh, really? She said that she met Jordan earlier, I guess it was last summer, and she said that Paulette Jordan would be her choice, and 71-year-old, Cher, what is Cher anyway? She's got to be about 71, 72, isn't she? Her and Sonny, when they split up years and years ago? I think Cher's probably getting up into the old status right now. A lot of makeup and a lot of Botox, but anyway, I think she's got to be at least 72 or 73. I think she's older than I am. And she said that she is endorsing Paulette Jordan to be the next governor for the state of Idaho. We shall see what we shall see. What are your thoughts? Give me a call, please, at 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Another news story that I said this a couple of weeks ago on my program. I had a lot of fears and trepidations about the overtures that were being made from North Korea to South Korea to become best buds again. Oh, yeah, let's march in together, side by side at the Olympics and show everybody that we are trying to create a unified Korea. Well, now that's what's coming to the forefront. And I honestly believe, and I'd like to hear from you folks out there, I think we better be real careful. A couple of weeks ago, and I found it in my list of notes, I made the mention that I think North Korea trying to buddy up with and saddle up with South Korea, and then the power play with China. Watch out for that region of the world. The North Koreans have made this unusual call to all Koreans at home and abroad to push for unification while urging the South to ditch its American ally, us. See? It's coming. North Korean state media said that the two Koreas should strive for improved bilateral relations and a breakthrough for independent Korean unification without the involvement of external forces. All the time, effort, money, and people that we put over there to protect South Korea, get rid of it. North Korea is calling upon all Koreans with a strong will to make this auspicious year and eventful year noteworthy in the history of the nation. And North Korea said that they offered to promote contact, travel, cooperation, and exchange between North and South Korea on a wide scale to remove mutual misunderstanding and distrust. Oh, doesn't that sound just creamy, nice vanilla ice cream with chocolate sauce? And all the while, I still think it's nothing more than wolves dressed in sheep's clothing to create more power against us. What are your thoughts? Give me a call, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I think I'm going to do the weather forecast a little bit early. Deanne's standing there with a frown on her face, a normally smiley face daily. Today she has a big frown as she looks outside. And the weather is brought to us by Scarrow's Meats. Don Scarrow and the rest of the crew at 331 North Road in Jerome. The number to call, 324-7657, or you can go to their website, scarrowsmeats.com, and check out all the delicious meats. Oh, I mean everything from the breakfast sausages to the delicious bratwursts, and of course all the bacons and the smoked hams and the prime ribs. Oh, phenomenal, delicious. Right now, on behalf of Scarrow's Meats, here's Gina with the weather.
Maybe some snow showers for today, tomorrow, and for Saturday as we head on into the weekend. And for today, we are expecting some rain and snow showers, likely before noon, then a chance of snow showers in the afternoon hours. Mostly cloudy skies, gradually becoming mostly sunny, fingers crossed on that one, with a high of 39. Going to be windy as well out of the southwest, right around 15 miles an hour. Expecting gusts as high as 30 miles an hour. For tonight, 20% chance of snow showers, mostly cloudy skies. Low of 25 tomorrow. 40% chance of snow showers, mostly before noon. After that, mostly cloudy skies with a high of 37. Friday night, mostly cloudy skies with a low of 24. Saturday, 40% chance of snow showers, mostly cloudy skies with a high of 40. And for Sunday, partly sunny skies and a high of 45. That is your weather for Zev at the Ranch.
I'm looking outside, and it isn't real pretty, but we're still, and I want to emphasize, still going to have lunch bunch. I'll talk to you about that in just a minute. Again, our thanks go out to Don Scarrow and the rest of the crew at Scarrow's Meats. 331 North Road, Jerome. Telephone number to call, 324-7657. You know, delicious, delicious meats and really nice people. And Scarrow's Meats in Jerome, changing the way we eat one delicious bite at a time. Thank you very much. Again, we want to mention we are going to have lunch bunch. I'm not going to do anything but say we're going to mush our huskies through the snow. Deanne's gone out and hooked up the dog sled if necessary, and we'll be there at Denny's Restaurant at 611 North Overland in Burley, and we're going to start at 11:30 today. And once again, I want to say thank you to all the gift certificate people that helped donate, and they are Walmart, along with Smith's Foods, Hanson Mortuary, and Stokes Groceries, Doug Martin, Pomerell Place, and Denny's. Thank you very much. Lunch bunch at Denny's at 11:30 this morning. Our major sponsor for our program, and I want to give them a great big shout out because, boy, they've been with us and rode the horse with us for a long time, and that's our Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, where they say doing the right thing matters, and believe me, they do the right things. Wintertime driving, like right now, absolutely you need to have the traction tires for your car, your pickup, your SUV. Tires like the Observe tire, the WinterCat SST, the TerraMax, all of these and more for your driving. They'll get you through with their traction tires from your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. And don't forget, too, they've got all the tire chains, and they've got the best in front-end alignment, shocks and struts, batteries, and brake service. Boy, having a little trouble stopping? Get in there. They can fix it with their highly trained brake technicians. All of this and more with Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family and Paul, Daniel on Poline in Twin Falls, and my buddy Randy on Overland in Burley. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Wheels, old buddy, I understand that you and your mom are going to be at Lunch Bunch today.
We are, and I just got done loading your music for you so you and Deanne can skedaddle over to Burley. So.
It's not a skedaddle, it's a mush.
Mush.
Mush the Huskies.
That's right. You had said that she already hooked up the dogs and everything.
Yeah. We got the sled outside the front door. I got to run, grab my jacket, and then we're going to head down there. But I want to wish you a safe little trip over to Denny's, you and your mom. I'll look forward to seeing you both. And I hope you don't mind, but we're going to just kind of pack it in right now and say we're on the road to get there for Denny's at 11:30. Wheels, great job this week, and we'll be back next Monday at 8:06 and start the whole week over again with all the news, political happenings, etc., right here where we always say the way things were are the way things ought to be. See you later on Monday. God bless.